This question is about open-mindedness and balancing that with, your own values. So the question is, well, what's the difference between coming off too strong and representing an open mind without, at the expense of losing your own values?
Look, I question the premise. Why does having an open mind make you lose your own values? I don't see where the dilemma is. I think you should have your values absolutely solid. You should be secure in your values, and you should also have an open mind. Why are those things contradictory?
For some reason, I'm thinking of Canada. I don't even know why. I always think of Canadians are so fun-loving and very sweet, but I think I'm not even really sure where that one comes.
Oh, Canada. I'm not sure what it is you're thinking about. Okay? Open mind means that you are free in the moment to pay attention so that you can receive information that's outside your frame of reference, and you can be present with that information. Okay? That's what having an open mind means. So what does that have to do with values? To me, values are established very early on in life. I mean, by the time, you're 3-4 years old, values are already planted. They're planted on a very deep level inside of you. And those values have to become firm. You can leave your values. You can compromise your values. You can trade your values for benefits. You can make deals with people. And then you cheapen yourself. You feel cheap. You feel depressed. You feel nothing. So I'm going to say you should have your values established. You should put your base on them and build your caliber on those values. But you should have a completely open mind, because each person who's speaking is the guru. Doesn't matter how crazy they are. We used to have a lady in our ashram who spoke word salad. Have you heard that expression,
Mm-mm.
word salad? When someone is schizophrenic, sometimes they look at you and they start talking as if they're really saying something that makes sense, but when you listen to their words are just absolutely free form. They're not making sentences and they're not making words, but they're very earnest in trying to speak to you. But if you just relax in the moment and you listen to the sound current of the person speaking, what it is they're saying will come through to you anyway, even though their words make no sense. So to me, having an open mind isn't about playing chess. You make your move, I make my move. You state your position, I state my position. That's not having an open mind. Having an open mind is saying, this is God sitting in front of me, talking to me, and I'm paying attention. I don't want to convince that other person of anything. I'm not invested in changing the way they feel or the way they think. If they ask me a question, I'll answer it honestly. But you have nothing to defend.
But that's part of where maybe this person's feeling like compromising their values. Like if I believe something and you open your mind, okay, I can maybe relate to that, I can understand
If
that.
your values are not firm, and your awareness of who you are is not firm, and your caliber is not established, and you have not experienced your own excellence, then you trade your values for what appears to be a benefit in the moment. So my answer to that is very simple. Establish yourself. Be secure in yourself. Know who you are. It doesn't matter what anyone else is saying or doing.
But that's a hard line, because like you said, most people are relating from their own frame of reference. And I know lots of people who, comment on things that
We
I do.
discovered the line. There it is, the line.
Yeah, there's the line.
Okay, we lost it somewhere. You have to understand that that person's frame of reference is their frame of reference. Honor it as that. Understand that the person you're speaking to is this infinite soul who is in a mind that has a certain frame of reference, and they're focusing through that mind. And so talk to the person's soul. Talk to the person's heart. Don't try to argue with the person's frame of reference or convince them of something. What's the point of that? You can never win an argument. Anyone who's married knows that. Why bother? I was speaking of husbands.
Can I make one suggestion?
Yeah.
I think some people are afraid that if they keep an open mind, that they'll lose themselves, and that they're clinging to these values that somehow would, totally rock them off balance, and they might go somewhere where they feel they shouldn't go. I think it's important to know that throughout your life, you always need to evolve and change. Otherwise, you're just a sitting duck. And so by listening to people, and as you grow and as the world changes, then you can keep an open mind to things and understand them and integrate them into that core of value that you spoke of previously, and evolve.
There's a big difference between values and culture. Values are deeper than culture because they're very fundamental human things. And then there's a cultural overlay on that, right? That is colored by how we grew up and what culture we grew up in. What makes you feel safe?
I think balance, knowing where I am, who I am.
Exactly. If what makes you feel safe is that you are secure within yourself and your own identity, and you take joy in who you are, and you understand who you are, that feeling is a feeling of having your feet on the earth and your head in the stars and remembering your zip code. You know, that's what it means to be human. But if you find your safety in having a bunch of money in the bank, or having the traditions be continued, or having things be the way they're supposed to be, then you'll never feel safe. Because as you pointed out, those things are constantly shifting. So they're just a lens, one way of looking at something through that lens. But there are many lenses and many ways of looking. When I say values, I mean much deeper things. I mean, not swaying in the wind. It's like a tree. You can live in the leaves, and when the wind comes, you go this way, and when the wind comes, you go that way. Or you can live in the root, and when you live in the root, you enjoy the dance of the leaves, but you're secure in your root, which is in your own breath, and in your own body, and in your own consciousness.
Yeah, and I think to keep an open mind, especially as a parent, my mother told me that she used very different techniques with my brother and I, who's male versus female, and also just a totally different person. Mm-hmm. And if she had tried to mother him the way that she mothered me, it didn't work. It wouldn't have worked for him. So to keep an open mind and adjust yourself to what's coming.